Hi everyone, this is Angel Nightingale. Welcome to Tales Around the World. The name of this story is Princess Reedcap, so please listen to this story and enjoy. Once upon a time, in a land far away there lived a king and his 3 daughters. The first daughter name was Marianne and the second daughter name was Eleanor and the third daughter name was Angel. The 3 princesses was engaged to handsome princes in great kingdom across the world. One day the king called his 3 daughters and told them that he was dividing the kingdom into 3 parts and would share it to each of them. Then he said, I have a question to ask each of you, and whoever answer the question the best I would give you the best part of my kingdom. The question is, how much do you love me as a father? The king's first daughter Marianne said, Father, I love you so much. I love you, Father, as much as I love the sun and the moon. I love you, my king. And the king was happy. The king's second daughter Eleanor said, Father, I love you. You're my sunshine on a cloudy day. Father, I love you more than all the stars in the sky. And the king was happy. The king's third and favorite daughter Angel said, Father, I love you as much as a daughter should love her father. Being without you, Father, is like eating food without salt. The king was speechless for a moment and the whole of the kingdom fell into silence. The king then said, My angel, is that your best answer you can give me your father and your king? Princess Angel answered, Yes, Father. The king's demeanor changed. At first he was sad, then disappointed, then he got really angry. The king then said, Well, if that's all to be said, so be it. I will divide the kingdom into 2 and give it to your sister Marianne and your sister Eleanor. But you, Angel, will get nothing. Nothing. You are hereby banished from the kingdom. You are no longer my daughter. You, Angel, are hereby banished to live in the dark forest. You are only allowed to carry the clothes on your back and 3 of your dresses, nothing more. Go now and never return. The prince that was to marry to Princess Angel heard what had happened and ran away and abandoned Princess Angel. Princess Angel was devastated and disappointed in her father and the prince. Marianne and Eleanor laughed at Princess Angel. They were always jealous of the love the king had for Angel. Angel fell down on the floor crying and they ordered the palace guard to carry her out of the palace. Angel left immediately to start her long journey into the dark forest. Princess Angel's long journey to the dark forest was scary. Princess Angel was scared of the unknown creatures of the dark forest. After days of walking deeper and deeper into the forest, Princess Angel found an old deserted cottage. She cleaned up the cottage and made it her new home. Princess Angel made a dress and cap out of grass to protect the only dresses she had. Princess Angel gave herself a new name to protect her true identity. She named herself Princess Reedcap. Princess Reedcap stayed in the old cottage for many weeks. She made a bow and arrows to hunt and ate wild berries. One day Princess Angel, now known as Reedcap, decided to go further into the forest. She walked for 3 days. When she finally found the most beautiful palace, Princess Reedcap saw a palace maid walking and Princess approached her and said, Hello, my fair lady. Can you please help me? My name is Reedcap and I am looking for a job as the new cook in the palace. The maid was a bit surprised at Reedcap's appearance and was looking at her as if she was very strange. Princess Reedcap said, Please, my lady, please help me. The palace maid's face fell with relief and then felt sorry for Reedcap. Then palace maid said, Okay, I will give you a chance, please do not disappoint me. Princess Reedcap said, I promise I will make you proud. Princess Reedcap felt so happy, for the first time in a long time. Princess Reedcap quickly found herself a new home in the palace as a cook. Princess Reedcap was doing fairly well in the palace as a cook. All the kitchen maids were happy that Princess Reedcap was working with them. They grew to love Princess Reedcap. One day Princess Reedcap heard one of the kitchen maids saying that the king is holding a royal party for the prince, so the prince can choose a fair maiden as his wife. Princess Reedcap soon realized that the prince the maids were talking about was the same prince that had once been engaged to marry her. Princess Reedcap decided to go to the party without the kitchen maids knowing about it. Princess Reedcap put on one of her beautiful princess dresses. She looked so beautiful. The prince was dancing with all the fair maiden far and wide. Then the prince saw Princess Reedcap and smiled and asked her to dance, which Princess Reedcap said, Yes, I'll dance with you. The prince and Princess Reedcap danced all night long and the other fair maiden felt jealous. The prince never recognized Princess Reedcap as Princess Angel. And Princess Reedcap didn't say anything. Princess just enjoyed dancing with the prince, for she still loves the prince. It was getting late and Princess Reedcap began to worry that she might be discovered as the cook or as Princess Angel, so Princess Reedcap ran away from the prince. She ran until she was out of sight, then quickly changed back as a palace cook. Meanwhile, back at the kingdom where Princess Reedcap once lived, Princess Reedcap's sisters, Marianne and Eleanor, was getting tired of their father the king. They were fed up of the king and his 100 knights which the king has to protect him. The knights ate a lot and they were pretty noisy, day and night loud singing and dancing and laughing. Princess Marianne and Princess Eleanor got really greedy for the king treasures and thought if they could get rid of the king they would not have to share. So they got rid of the king 100 knights and then they banished the king to the same dark forest that he sent Princess Angel to live. The old walked for days in the dark forest until he found the old cottage that Princess Angel once lived. The king moved in the cottage and it became his new home, but the king quickly fell ill. One day Princess Reedcap decided to visit the cottage in the forest where she lived after she was banished, not knowing what or who she would find living in the cottage now. Upon reaching the old cottage, Princess Reedcap saw an old man sitting outside the cottage. He looks tired and sick. As Princess Reedcap reached closer, she recognized it was her father the king. She was so happy to see her father again, and she felt sad to know her father ended up in the forest. Princess Reedcap approached the king but didn't reveal her identity to him. "Hi dear sir, are you okay?" Reedcap asked. The king replied, "Not too well. I was banished to the forest by my 2 daughters. I have nowhere else to go." The king then asked, "Is this your cottage?" Princess Reedcap said yes and no. "I once lived here but no longer do. You can stay as long as you want, sir," Princess Reedcap said. Princess Reedcap took care of her father until he was well again. She left the old king and headed back to the prince's palace to work as the palace cook again. When Princess Reedcap arrived back at the prince's palace, the kitchen maids greeted her nicely and let her know that the prince is keeping another royal party in hopes that he will find the fair maiden who ran off. For the prince fell in love with her. Later that night, whilst the royal party was being held, Princess Reedcap secretly went in her room and changed into on of her beautiful princess gown. She attended the party to meet the prince already dancing with one of the fair maiden. There wasn't many fair maidens showed up this time, because they feared that the fair maiden that outshined them and stole the prince's attention and love would show up. When the prince realizes Princess Reedcap has arrived, he quickly finished dancing with the fair maiden and rushed over to Princess Reedcap. He asked her to dance and she accepted. The prince and Princess Reedcap danced all night long. The prince tried his best to hold tight to Princess Reedcap, but as soon as Princess Reedcap realized that it was getting late, she ran out again. The prince yelled to the guards to stop the princess from escaping, but she was too fast for the guards. Princess Reedcap escaped again and quickly changed back to her palace maid uniform. The following morning after the royal party, there was a strange silence in the palace and the kitchen maids looked really worried. Princess Reedcap asked the maids what was wrong, and maids replied that the prince refused to eat. That the fair maiden has stolen his heart and he would not eat until she is found. The kitchen maids then asked Princess Reedcap to prepare the prince's special soup and serve him the meal, for the kitchen maids couldn't take another rejection from the prince. Princess Reedcap agreed to make the soup, and when the kitchen maids weren't looking, Princess Reedcap quickly placed her engagement ring in the prince's soup. Then she went to the prince's room and served him his meal. Princess Reedcap didn't wait for the prince to refuse and quickly left the prince's room. A little while after, there was loud shouting from the prince and he demanded that the cook who made the soup to come at once. So Princess Reedcap returned to the prince's room and he asked, "Did you make the soup?" Princess Reedcap said, "Yes, my prince." "Where did you get this ring?" Princess Reedcap did not answer. The prince repeated, "Where did you get this ring?" Princess Reedcap didn't say anything. Instead, she took off the grass dress, revealing her beautiful princess dress, removed the grass cap that hid part of her face. The prince was utterly shocked to see it was the same maiden he danced with and the Princess Angel he was once engaged to be married to. Then he became happy and sad at the same time. The prince apologized to Princess Reedcap, now once more Princess Angel, and the prince begged her to forgive him for being silly and abandoning her when she needed him the most. Princess Angel accepted the prince's apologies and forgave the prince. The prince and Princess Angel hugged each other and shared a kiss. The prince quickly set the wedding date as soon as possible, because he was afraid he might lose the Princess Angel again. Finally, the wedding day arrived for the prince and Princess Angel Reedcap. And the prince invited the old king Princess Angel father as Princess Angel requested. All the royalties and guests sat around the dining room table waiting for their meals to be served. Princess quietly called one of the kitchen maids and told her not to put any salt in the food for the old king her father, and the maid did as she was told. When everyone at the dining table started to eat, they were enjoying their meal except for the old king Princess Angel father. He took the first spoon of food and swallowed, and then he started to cry. The prince asked the old king what was wrong, and the king said that he was really looking forward to this meal because he have not eaten a good meal in a long time, and now he can't eat the food, it has no taste, no salt. The king began to cry more, and then he said he once had a daughter who told him that being without him is like eating food without salt. I didn't understand what she meant at the time, and I banished her to live in the dark forest. Now I understand what she meant, and I'm so sorry for what I did to her. I'm so sorry. I'm worried about my angel, I hope she is alive. The old king started to cry again. Princess Angel Reedcap couldn't take the king pain anymore, reveal herself to the old king her father, and he was so happy to see her. The old king apologized to Princess Angel and asked her forgiveness. And Princess Angel accepted the king's apologies and forgave him. The king then explained to Princess Angel and her husband the prince what her two sisters Marianne and Eleanor did and how they were the ones who banished him and took over his kingdom. Everyone enjoyed the rest of the wedding celebration, and the very next morning Princess Angel husband the prince sent his best knights and warriors to fight Princess Marianne and Princess Eleanor. To fight their knights and overthrow the kingdom and give back the kingdom to Princess Angel father the king. The prince won the battle, and the old king Princess Angel father got back his kingdom. And the prince and Princess Angel Reedcap live happily ever after. The end.